The call came before I even reached the front door. I still had my suitcase in my hand, dust from the road clinging to my shoes, when my phone started vibrating in my pocket. Relentless, urgent, like it knew something I didn't. I almost ignored it. After all, I had been away for 10 days. Work trip, no signal half the time. I just wanted to step inside, surprise her, maybe hear her laugh echo through the house again. But something made me stop. Something made me answer. Hello? There was a pause. Not silence, breathing. Shaky, uneven breathing. Is this Mr. Arman? My chest tightened. Yes, who is this? This is City General Hospital. You need to come immediately. Your wife, she's been admitted. She's in the ICU. For a second, I didn't understand the words. They floated around me, disconnected, meaningless. ICU, admitted, wife. No, I said, almost laughing under my breath. That's not possible. I was just about to walk in. She's home. Another pause. Then gently, Sir, please come as soon as you can. The line went dead. And just like that, the world shifted. I don't remember the drive. I remember the steering wheel under my hands trembling. I remember missing 2 red lights. I remember honking horns, blurred headlights, and my own reflection in the rearview mirror, pale, confused, almost unrecognizable. But mostly I remember the questions. How? Why didn't she call me? Why didn't anyone call me? My wife, Zara. She wasn't the kind of person who kept things from me, not after everything we'd been through. We had built something steady, quiet but strong. 8 years of marriage, 8 years of routines, morning tea together, her reminding me to take my keys, my habit of texting her even during meetings just to say, did you eat? She used to laugh at that, said I worried too much. Someone has to, I'd reply. You forget half the world when you're working. She was a graphic designer, freelance, worked from home. Her studio was the spare bedroom. We had turned into a space filled with soft, light and color, her world. And I trusted her completely. There was never a reason not to. By the time I reached the hospital, my hands were numb. Hospitals have a smell, a cold, sterile smell that sinks into your skin the moment you walk in. I hated it instantly. The ICU was on the 3rd floor. Every step toward it felt heavier than the last. I kept thinking, this is a mistake. It has to be. Maybe someone mixed up names. Maybe it's not her. But deep down, something wasn't right. At the reception desk, a nurse looked up. Name? Arman, my wife, Zara, I got a call. Her expression softened immediately. Too quickly. Yes, please. Sit for a moment. The doctor will speak with you. No, I said, my voice sharper than I intended. I want to see her. You will, she assured me gently. But first, I said I want to see her. There must have been something in my eyes, because she hesitated, then nodded. Room 3, but only for a minute. Nothing prepares you for seeing someone you love like that. Zara was always full of life. Even when she was tired, even when she was stressed, there was always this quiet energy about her, a warmth. But the woman lying in that bed, she looked fragile, still. Machines surrounded her. Monitors flickering, wires tracing across her skin, an oxygen mask covering half her face. Her eyes were closed. For a moment, I just stood there. I didn't move. Didn't breathe. Because if I moved, it would mean this was real. Zara, I whispered finally, stepping closer. No response. I reached for her hand. Cold. Not lifeless, but not the warm, familiar touch I knew. Something inside me cracked. What happened to you? I murmured. There were no visible injuries. No bandages. No signs of an accident. Just silence. And that was somehow worse. The doctor met me outside. Your wife was brought in last night, he explained. She was unconscious when she arrived. By who? I asked immediately. He hesitated. A neighbor, we believe. The report wasn't very detailed. A neighbor? We're still running tests, he continued. Right now, her condition is critical but stable. We're monitoring her closely. Critical. Stable. Words that didn't belong together. What caused this? I pressed. That's what we're trying to determine. I stared at him. You're telling me you don't know? He shook his head slightly. Not yet. I sat outside the ICU for what felt like hours. Maybe it was hours. Time had lost meaning. I kept replaying everything in my head. Every conversation we had over the past week. She sounded fine. More than fine. She had laughed on our last call, told me she was working on a new project, complained about the neighbor's dog barking at night. Nothing unusual. Nothing alarming? So how does someone go from that to this? Around midnight, my phone buzzed again. This time, it was a familiar name. Samir, my best friend? I hesitated before answering. I didn't even remember telling him I was back. Armin, where are you, man? He asked, his voice filled with concern. I'm at the hospital. A pause. Then, quieter, I heard. My grip tightened on the phone. You heard? From who? Someone from the neighborhood mentioned it. That felt off. Samir wasn't close with our neighbors. How is she? He asked quickly, almost too quickly. Critical, I replied. They don't know what happened. Silence. Then, I'm coming. You don't have to. I'm coming, he repeated. Samir had been in my life for over 15 years. We met in college. Shared everything, hostel rooms. Late-night struggles, stupid dreams about the future. He was there when I met Zara. In fact, he was the one who introduced us. You two are going to get along, he had said back then, grinning like he already knew something we didn't. And he was right. From the beginning, everything with Zara felt easy, natural, and Samir was always part of that picture. Family dinners, celebrations, even quiet weekends, he was there. I trusted him, like a brother. He arrived at the hospital faster than I expected. The moment he saw me, he pulled me into a hug. Hey, it's going to be okay, he said, patting my back. I didn't respond. I just stood there, letting the weight of everything settle. Did you see her? He asked. I nodded. And? I swallowed hard. She didn't wake up. He exhaled slowly, running a hand through his hair. This is crazy, he muttered. Something in his tone made me look at him more closely. He looked tense, not just worried, uncomfortable. You said you heard about it, I said carefully. Who told you? He paused. Just someone. It doesn't matter. It does matter, I insisted. He forced a small smile. Arman, not right now, okay? Let's just focus on Zara. That should have reassured me. It didn't. We sat there together in silence. Minutes passed. Maybe longer. Then, almost casually, I asked, when was the last time you spoke to her? Samir froze, just for a second, but I saw it. I don't remember, he said, looking away. A few days ago, maybe. A few days ago. That didn't match what Zara had told me. She said she hadn't heard from you in weeks, I said slowly. Another pause, then a shrug. Maybe she forgot. Maybe. Or maybe something wasn't adding up. A nurse walked past us, holding a small plastic bag. Inside it were a few personal items. A phone, a set of keys, and something else, a folded piece of paper. My eyes locked onto it instantly. That's her stuff, I said, standing up. The nurse nodded. Yes, these were with her when she arrived. I need to see that. She hesitated. I'll have to check. Please. After a moment, she handed me the bag. My hands trembled as I opened it. The phone was cracked. The keys, familiar, but it was the paper that caught my attention. Folded neatly, deliberately, like it was meant to be found. I glanced at Samir. He was watching me now. Closely, too closely. A strange feeling crept up my spine as I slowly unfolded the paper. And just before my eyes reached the first line, I felt it. That quiet, undeniable shift. The moment where everything was about to change, where trust would begin to crack, where nothing would ever be the same again. I took a breath and started to read. My hands trembled as I unfolded the paper. For a second, the words blurred. My vision wouldn't focus, like my mind was trying to protect me from whatever was written there. But then the letters sharpened, and everything inside me went still. Arman, if you're reading this, something has gone wrong. A cold weight settled in my chest. I didn't know how to tell you this. I tried, so many times, but every time I looked at you, I couldn't break what we had. I couldn't be the reason your world shattered. My breath caught. There's something about Samir you don't know. The hallway noise faded into nothing. I didn't hear the footsteps, the distant beeping machines, the quiet murmur of voices around us. All I could hear was my own heartbeat, slow, Heavy, loud. I kept reading. He's been coming over while you're away. My grip tightened on the paper. No, that didn't mean anything. Samir had always come over. He was family. That's what I told myself. That's what I wanted to believe. But the next line didn't let me. At first, it felt normal. He said he was just checking in, making sure I wasn't alone. I trusted him. Because you trust him. My stomach turned. But something changed. Small things. The way he looked at me. The way he stayed longer than necessary. The way he asked questions about you. About us. I felt a sharp pressure behind my eyes. I told myself I was overthinking. That I was imagining it. Because the alternative didn't make sense. My fingers tightened so much the paper crumpled slightly. Until last night, I stopped breathing. He came over again, late, said he needed to talk. I didn't want to open the door, but he insisted. A faint sound escaped my throat, something between a breath and a denial. He wasn't the Samir we know, Armin. He was different, nervous, agitated. He kept pacing, saying things that didn't make sense. About loyalty, about how long he's been there for us, for you. I slowly lifted my eyes. Samir was still sitting beside me, watching me, waiting. My heart started to pound harder. I looked back down. Then he said something I can't forget. The words felt heavier now, each one sinking deeper than the last. He said, "You don't even see me, Zara, after everything I've done." A chill ran through me. I tried to calm him down. I told him he should leave, but he didn't listen. He kept talking, louder now, saying things like he deserved more, that he's been in your shadow his whole life. My chest felt tight, too tight. I got scared, Armin. The paper shook in my hands. I've never seen him like that. Never. A long pause. Then, I don't know what he's capable of. The words hit differently. Not dramatic, not exaggerated. Just honest. And that made them worse. If anything happens to me, I need you to know that I tried to handle this without hurting you. I didn't want to come between you and your best friend. A tear slipped down before I could stop it. But I think I was wrong. I couldn't read the last line. Not right away. Because I already knew. Something inside me already understood what it was going to say. Still, I forced my eyes down. Please be careful around him. Silence. Complete suffocating silence. I folded the paper slowly, carefully, as if moving too fast would make everything fall apart completely. My hands felt numb. My thoughts, louder than ever. And yet my voice, when I finally spoke, was steady. Too steady. When was the last time you saw her? Samir didn't answer immediately. I looked at him. Really looked at him. His posture had changed. Subtle, but different. His shoulders slightly tense. His gaze shifting, not quite meeting mine. I told you, he said. A few days ago. I nodded slowly. Then I held up the paper. She wrote this. His eyes flickered. Just for a second. But it was enough. What is that? He asked. You tell me. A pause. A long one. I don't know, he said finally, his voice quieter now. I watched him. Every movement, every blink. You were at the house last night. It wasn't a question. He swallowed. No, I wasn't. The lie came too quickly, too smoothly. And that's when something inside me shifted. Not anger. Not yet. Something colder. He said you came over late, I continued, my tone still calm. That you wanted to talk. I didn't. She said you were acting strange. His breathing changed, slightly heavier. I think you're misunderstanding. She was scared. That made him stop. Really stop. For the first time, he didn't have an immediate answer. And in that silence, the truth started to surface. I would never hurt Zara, he said finally. But his voice lacked the certainty it used to carry. I tilted my head slightly. I didn't say you did. Another pause. But you were there, I added quietly. His jaw tightened. He exhaled sharply, running a hand through his hair. Okay, fine, I went over. But it's not what you think. The words hung in the air. Heavy, familiar. It's not what you think. I almost laughed. Almost. Then tell me what it is, I said. He looked at me then. Really looked at me. And for a moment, I saw it. Not guilt, not fear. Something deeper. Something unresolved. I was just trying to talk to her, he said. That's all. About what? He hesitated. Then, about you? My chest tightened. What about me? Another pause. Longer this time. Then he shook his head. It doesn't matter. It matters now. His expression hardened slightly. You've always had everything, Armin, he said quietly. You probably don't even realize it. I stared at him, not understanding. Or maybe not wanting to. What is that supposed to mean? He let out a small, humorless laugh. It means I've spent half my life standing next to you, watching you get everything so easily. The job, the respect, the life. His eyes met mine again. And Zara, something inside me dropped. That's not... I never said anything, he cut in. I never crossed a line, not once, because you're my friend. The word friend sounded different now. He needed to know how much he had taken for granted. I felt a strange calm settle over me. A dangerous kind of calm. So you went to my house, late at night, to tell my wife that? He didn't answer. Because he didn't need to. The silence said enough. And when she asked you to leave? I pressed. His gaze faltered. I didn't do anything, he said quickly. I swear, she got overwhelmed. She looked dizzy. I thought she was going to faint. My heart skipped. What? I panicked, he continued. I didn't know what to do. She wasn't responding properly. So I called for help and left. You left? The words came out sharper now. I didn't know what else to do, he snapped, his composure cracking. What was I supposed to say? That I was there? That I caused it? There it was. Not a confession, but not innocence either. Just truth sitting somewhere in between. I stood up slowly. Every part of me felt heavy but clear. Too clear. Zara's words echoed in my mind. Please be careful around him. I looked down at Samir. At the person I had trusted for over a decade. And for the first time, I didn't recognize him. She's still in there, I said quietly, glancing toward the ICU doors. Fighting for her life. He didn't respond. And you walked away. His eyes dropped. I was scared, he murmured. I nodded. So was she. Silence stretched between us. Thick, final. I folded the paper again and slipped it into my pocket. Not as evidence, not as proof, but as a reminder, somewhere behind those doors. Zara was still breathing, still holding on, and when she woke up, everything would change. Because this wasn't the end. Not even close. This was just the beginning.